Hi, how are you?
Hi, Zibby. How you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm great. Great. Good to see you again.
I feel like it was another lifetime when we met and talked in person.
It was definitely one where we could go outside of our homes. I'll tell you that.
Yes,
And where we
that's
were
great.
all traveling. But this is a fun way to see you too.
Yeah, this is also great. I'm so grateful for the episodes that I did with you and other authors that I did like so far ahead of time because then at least we got like the real sort of in studio or whatever experience. But anyway, I'll just
Yeah,
say I loved meeting you in person too.
it was great to see you then too. Good to be here this morning. Thanks for having me.
So tell everybody what Tiny Imperfections is about, please. Or do you have a copy you could hold up? I
I
left mine
do. I
in New
do
York.
have
Okay.
a copy. There
Ah,
it is.
so cool.
And you can kind of see a little bit of my poster in the back that my husband made for me. Um,
Aw.
Yeah. Tiny Imperfections is a story about a multi-generational family of women, a great aunt, her niece, and the niece's daughter. And it explores their life living in San Francisco. And our protagonist, Josie, is head of admissions at an elite private school in San Francisco. So it sort of follows their journey throughout this very rarefied world of education. In the 80s, when I was a student in a private school, uh, the the topic du jour was yeah, diversity among the student body. So we decided to jump ahead a little bit and say, well, um, let's examine what it's like for a Black woman to be in a position of an administrative position in a school and work through what that looks like in today's society. So Allie and I both have very vast and many, many years in education from teaching, both of us over 20 years. And the stories that we brought with us were perfect for this type of book.
And this book is also so funny. I mean, I remember you telling me that the two of you sat there and laughed hysterically while you were writing it, and you can tell that in the book that it brings such like energy and just hilarity to it.
Something we need right now for sure is laughter, getting a chance to laugh out loud at life, yourself, others. I mean, it's a great release. And Tiny Imperfections. When I think about the story, and I've read it, of course, many times. When I think about different scenes or ask someone that's pre-reading the book, "Where are you?" I start cracking up just thinking about what's coming next to it.
That's great. Like the ability to crack yourself up about your own experiences
I
time
love it.
after time. You know, you can't get better than that. And you had like your whole family had a very storied history in education and pioneering and all that. Can you talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, my dad, TJ Vassar, was the first graduate, African American graduate from Lakeside School in 1968. He went on to Harvard University and then master's degree at University of Washington, and had a great history in the educational um, out, just what's going on in Seattle in education and bringing it up to being a leader in diversity, in equity, and justice in our education. And my dad was a great pioneer in that. To give you an example, uh, there were Japanese American teachers interned during World War II, and my dad took their case all the way to the Supreme Court to fight for reparations for them in losing their job. They were Americans, they had legitimate jobs, businesses, homes, and all of that was taken away. And he took his position as a member of the Seattle Public School District to fight for justice for them, and then went on to return to Lakeside School as an administrator, teaching equity and social justice classes.
So cool. And your book, though, in spite of all the like, you know, the parody basically of what it's like to be in this process, you also have like a very moving, heartfelt story about a single mother and like intergenerational relationships and what you wouldn't do for your child and what you do for yourself. And I mean, you have some like, not heavy, you got some real themes in there as well. I mean, it's not just
Absolutely.
it's not just the admission stuff, which I think gave it so much depth and everything.
Well, that's one of our beliefs, is that you can examine some tough issues and decide what take you're going to have on them. And we decided to use humor. It's a place where Allie and I connected. Oftentimes we would laugh at things that happened at school that maybe weren't so appropriate to laugh at. But laughter relieves stress. It connects. It's better than frowning for wrinkles. I mean, all sorts of things. So that's sort of where we went with it. We used humor as a way to show all of those ways that we're similar instead of focusing on the differences. And laughing at myself is an easy thing to do. And I hope other people realize that even when we're laughing at the characters in the book, that we also see part of ourselves in them, especially as mothers, and especially with regard to that intergenerational story. Josie is concerned for her daughter, and doesn't want her to make the same mistakes in her life that she herself did. And Aunt Viv, the matriarch of the family, is sort of that wise person that all of us need in our lives. Allie and I say to ourselves all the time, we all need an Aunt Viv. She's sort of that grounding force, the one that smooths out all the wrinkles in the family, makes sure that everyone's still communicating and is still all right and still in love as a family. And that was great fun to explore as well.
And how are you channeling humor at home now? Like, how are you staying sane during this time? I mean, that was an assumption. Are you staying sane? Okay.
Well, I am staying sane. I have a great family support system. I talk to Allie every single day, twice, 3 times a day. That's the biggest change for us, is that we're used to writing side by side with each other, connecting first, chatting, checking in with our families. So I miss that conviviality of writing, which I'm sure a lot of writers don't get to say because they write on their own. She and I writing in partnership is great fun. And so I call her. I do call her when I'm like, oh, gosh, this is happening. But my kids are great. They're older as well. I have 2 adult children. My son just came home from New York yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have an 18-year-old. So they're supporting me. They're giving me my space. I take extra long baths. Nobody knocks on that door when mama's in the bathtub.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And again, I'm so glad we got to meet. Your podcast will be out soon, along with your book. So it's just great to connect.
So excited. And we just want to let people know that, this family, the Bordelon family, is, they're not finished. We are busy working on book 2. Hopefully finishing up with a book 3 and a spin-off story from their family that's a standalone book. And we've also sold the film and TV rights to a major studio. Amazing. For Tiny Imperfections. So we're hoping the announcement comes out real soon for everyone.
I didn't want to ask because I felt like last time you said you couldn't talk about it. So I was purposely not asking you that, but I'm glad you said what you said.
I know. I'm the worst at keeping a secret. So I had to call Allie and get exactly the words. Like, okay, how much can I say?
I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's super exciting. Hold it up one more time so everybody can see Tiny Imperfections. And it's May 5th, or did I make that up? When is it
May 5th. It'll be out May 5th.
Awesome.
Hope you all enjoy it. Hope you all read it. It makes a fabulous Mother's Day gift. Give it to somebody who needs a laugh, especially right now.
There you go. Good pitch. Okay.
Thanks, Zibby.
Okay, thanks so much. Good to see you. Bye.